Hey Sagittarius, this is your look at the astrology of May 2021. My name is Katie Sweetman and this is Empowering Astrology. So, big news this month, Sagittarius. Your planet, Jupiter, is changing signs. And maybe you're like, wait a second, didn't this just happen? And you would be sort of correct. So, Jupiter went into Aquarius back on December 20th of 2020. And normally Jupiter spends about a year in each of the 12 zodiac signs. But if you're doing the math, you're like, wait a second, that's not 12 months. That's barely, it's 5 months, barely. So when Jupiter gets to this part of the zodiac, it does move a little bit more quickly. This is for astronomical reasons. But for you, there's this sense of like sort of the pace of your life is starting to move a little bit more quickly as well. So, Jupiter spending a year in each sign means that approximately you have these very distinct year-long chapters where you express yourself and you express life and you focus on life in a very different corner each year. But maybe that's sort of shifting a little bit this month. So Jupiter goes into Pisces on May 13th, and Pisces for you is your sign of home and family. It's roots, it's foundations, it's the sign that forms the bottom of your astrology chart. And you think of the bottom of something, it's the sign that gives the support to things. So you've got this actually, it's going to be a preview because Jupiter will only be in Pisces until July 28th. It goes into Pisces, it goes back out, goes back into Aquarius, and it will spend the rest of the year until December 28th in Aquarius. So you're sort of in and out of two different phases of life this year, and maybe May, June, July is a little bit of a preview of a bigger story. Yeah, because by the way, Sagittarius, you're a sign that needs a lot of freedom. You need to roam, you need to explore, and maybe a year without a lot of travel has been not fun, but the greater sort of story arc of your astrology over the next few years is that you're in a time of settling down. So you could maybe even look at 2021 as a preview of 2023, 2024. I know I'm getting like way down the line, but yeah, there comes a point in every person's life where they have to focus on home and family and roots. And where are you putting down roots? Even though you do like to travel the world, usually Sagittarius, but where do you call home? So when Jupiter changes signs, you're probably going to feel it because since December, it's been in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. It's about movement, ideas, exchange, big ideas. Aquarius is about intelligence. It's about systems and networks. And maybe you are sort of having to show that you have a lot of knowledge at this time as a focus on education, maybe even your writing or teaching over the past 4 or 5 months, but Pisces is a very different sign. It's like you're going from the analytical of Aquarius to the emotional and the intuitive of Pisces. So if you start to feel a very different season open up for you in the middle of May, don't be surprised. Yes, you're like, maybe you're getting a little bit more sentimental. Yeah, maybe you're like, maybe I do want to buy a home, or maybe I do want to move. Jupiter is a planet that gives confidence, it inspires, it gives faith to sort of do these things and to go off into the world or even come right back home. So that's something to keep in mind. That's one of the major things happening this month. The other major thing is that it's eclipse season. So as we go into May, the heavens are starting to shift and to move. A little recap on what eclipse season means. So every 6 months, we have a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, or vice versa. Sometimes there's 3 of them, but more often there's 2 of them. And they mark the time every 6 months. And when we get into eclipse season, you could argue that we already are in eclipse season. Life starts to get loud. Now, here's the other fun part. The eclipses are going to be in Sagittarius, that's you, and Gemini. There'll be a Sagittarius lunar eclipse on May 26th and a Gemini solar eclipse on June 11th. And your Sag or Sag rising or Gemini is your relationship sign. So it's very much the major shifts in chapters, or the tectonic plates of your life are moving, the hands on the clock are moving. Choose your metaphor, Sagittarius. But there is a focus on relationships, there's a focus on home and family, and there's a focus on you this month. And sort of like the 3 of the 4 major corners of your life are being activated right now. It's a lot going on. But I know the Sagittarius, you're a very philosophical sign. You're a sign that's always sort of like, what does it all mean? What does this time mean? And maybe you'll have to come up with your own answer, of course. But just my interpretation as your astrologer is it's time to focus on home and family and to settle down. And for some of you, maybe it's bringing in a serious relationship. And for others, it's a move, starting a family. And for others, it's a time to really get back to what matters, like what's in your heart. What do you need in order to feel fed and nurtured, and maybe the stuff that you even didn't get as a child. That said, it is Taurus season. Taurus is your sign of health, wellness, how you take care of your body, diet, fitness, nutrition, work and projects. And this is a time for you to get really down to basics. And maybe you're having to work on a lot of projects. Maybe you're having to kind of clean up and organize, or sort of refocus on your day-to-day life, like your schedule and the minutia of the things you have to do every day. But do keep in mind that Uranus has been in this part of your chart since 2018, 2019. So I think that Taurus season is a revisit of a story that began a few years ago, and one where you are completely reinventing your relationship with your body, how you take care of your body, the foods you eat, being in your body, especially if you are a bit disassociated from your body. And so look and see how that is showing up for you this month. Do you feel an urge to make new changes in your health and wellness, or take care of your body differently, or maybe even start a different fitness regimen? We will have a Taurus new moon on May 11th. This new moon sort of gives you the refocus, the renewal to look at your physical life, and whether it's your physical body or sort of the work and the projects and the details the rituals that you have on a day-to-day basis. But like I said, there's a lot of things shifting and moving. We'll start with Gemini. Mercury goes into Gemini on May 3rd. Gemini is your relationship sign. Venus also joins Gemini on May 8th. So when I say relationship, I don't necessarily mean romantic relationship, because there is a sense of that we as individuals, we need to socialize. We need to connect, and we need to interact with one another. We need to build those social skills. And yes, this of course leads to serious partnership, romantic partnership. So this is a time for you to socialize, to connect with one another. I know that it's been kind of a funky year, so do that in the way that, of course, works for you. But people are coming into your life. Gemini is going to be quite strong. Mercury is going to be quite strong when it's in Gemini. It's in the sign that it rules. So there's a lot of focus on that part, especially as we're in eclipse season. So really pay attention to the people that you are meeting right now, because it may mean it's like something serious, or a serious connection, or a serious alliance that's coming in. And then, of course, as I mentioned, on May 13th, Jupiter goes into Pisces, sort of giving you this preview of a bigger story in your life. And then we go into Gemini season on May 20th. So yes, it's not just Gemini season, it's eclipse season. It's about people coming in and out of your life. You might feel like sort of the 4 corners of your life that are normally rooted and stable and grounded are suddenly starting to shift and to move. It's just that time, Sagittarius. The other big news this month is that Saturn turns retrograde. It turns retrograde on May 23rd. It turns retrograde in Aquarius. So you've been in this period of time that's going to take you into May of 2023, and this has been since December 17th of 2020, where you need to take your voice seriously. So Saturn, in a way, as you get to the latter part of this month, Saturn's like, all right, show me what you've been doing. Show me how you've been taking your voice seriously. So you might have something to say later this month, or maybe you have an opportunity to share something, to share your wisdom, and share your knowledge, because Sagittarius, you do have a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And Aquarius is a smarty pants sign, so maybe you're flexing a little bit, showing off what you know. Maybe you're teaching. Maybe this is a time to really, again, step up and do this in a little bit more of a classroom or a workshop environment. But nevertheless, you're really taking your voice seriously now. Saturn is sort of checking in on your progress, and also maybe you've got some serious choices to weigh, because this part of your chart also talks about choice. Then we go into that May 26th Sagittarius lunar eclipse. The spotlight is on you, especially if you are born in the early part of Sagittarius. So this would have been like the end of November, I think, like around the 26th or 27th, if I'm doing my math correctly. Spotlight's on you, and it's time to make some big changes and take action and take initiative and be the leader. And maybe you're having to take action on something about home and relationship and making some, like I said, some big changes. Do keep in mind that 2 weeks later, I know this is June, but there will be a solar eclipse in Gemini, your relationship sign. So things are moving and shaking. I will say Mercury does turn retrograde on May 30th, and Mercury is your relationship planet. Mercury retrograde in this part of the chart, very classic that an old relationship will resurface. Somebody from the past will come back for you to tie up loose ends. If you start a relationship, maybe there's a sense of something from the past that needs, past life or some sort of connections, but it's not a negative thing. It's not like if you start a relationship and then Mercury turns retrograde, it's not going to work out. It's just a different phase. Mercury retrograde says we have to go back and we have to reflect. We have to look. We can't necessarily move forward, but if something is happening with a relationship, it might take until the end of June to kind of get clarity and for things to fully resolve. So you know the drill. There you go, Sagittarius. That is your look at the astrology of May 2021. Again, my name is Katie Sweetman. This is Empowering Astrology. Follow me online at empoweringastrology.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can book a consultation with me, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. So until next month, take care, be well, and then I'll see you later. Bye.